Hey, okay. I have I'm not feeling good. I have a sore throat and I'm congested. It's not COVID, it's just germs. Like my kids are back to school and kids are just germy little germs. Every year when the kids go back to school, our house gets sick. So it's just the standard, I don't know what, little tiny virus. So I'm working on my energy. I can see them super puffy. But this is so big, and I had to come and talk to you about it today. If you are on, say hi. If you're catching this on the replay, type hashtag replay. And otherwise, just say, hey, what's up? Let me know how you're doing on this lovely Thursday. I'm excited about this topic because my goodness, I've been seeing it so much in a lot of my clients and a lot of people that I've been talking to lately, and something that it was a season that I grew through, I would say at the beginning, earlier on this year, that I am so thankful for. So thankful for it, one, so that I could really step into owning my own power. It was a season I called ownership, where I got to step into owning my gifts unapologetically. And because of that, I get to coach my clients through it. And I wanted to briefly talk about it today because I'm really excited. I've been sitting with what program I'm going to roll out next. And I decided I'm going to do a really small mastermind for high performing women who are entrepreneurs who are ready to let go of any self doubt they have and really step into ownership. And like self doubt's a big word. It's like, well, I don't really doubt myself. But a lot of times the self doubt, the perfectionism, the stories that we get caught up in prevent us from taking massive action in our life and in our business. And I like to call it, pardon me, I don't know if I call it this or what I see is this idea that other people see this in us. So I see it in my clients, people have seen it in me, you see it in other people, and they're powerful. They know what is up. They are high performing. They create their lives are just amazing for them. Like you see that and they're like, "Oh, I me? Who me? What?" And it's not from even from a place of being humble, but in this place of they're just creating and doing it that they don't like look up and see themselves the way that other people see them in their power. Hit a like or love if that makes sense to you. Do you know people in your life right now that I think about this? Like, I don't like, not violently, but like, I really want to shake them and be like, why don't you see how amazing you are? What the hell? Do you know people that you want to do that to? That's not just me, right? Like, I'm not alone here. Because you just see them and you're like, you are a freaking badass. And I want you to see yourself the way that I see you. And I say that so often. So I'm creating a program where I'm going to put people through this so that by the end of it, they're going to be able to see how awesome that they are through it. So let's talk about it. Like self-doubt, I don't think that's something that everyone's like, yeah, I totally have self-doubt. Like that's me. I mean, that's not something that most people in my experience are like totally jiving about. Like, yeah, I'm totally self-doubt. But that's just what happens, right? Especially when we're stepping into something new. And we might be stepping into something new that we have experience with, like a new job that we have experience with, a new program. Maybe I'm taking a training, maybe I'm leading training, whatever. But stepping into something a little bit new where you have all this experience and knowledge about the topic, but then when you step into it, you're going, oh gosh. Actually, I'm going to share a really quick story because it's what's happening for me. I am leading a training through Next Level, and I'm really excited about it. And I'm also saying, like, "Were they great? Like, what are they thinking? Like, they're letting me do this." And, I'm having a little bit of self-doubt in certain moments. But then when I ground myself and I take a breath and I step into my ownership and into my own power, I'm like, "Of course I'm leading it. I'm gonna rock it out." But I can do that now. I can shift now. But this theme is kind of coming up. So, what does that mean? So, why like high performance? I work with lots of women who are super high performers. And what I really noticed was happening is because, and this isn't just about women, but it's just my experience. I work with women. So, women will be focusing on what's happening. So, a situation happens and they can look at the situation, they evaluate it, and they'll say, all right, like this worked, this didn't work. Or they get feedback from other people, and the feedback's like, hey, this is what's working, this is what's not working. And my experience with high performing women is they zoom and they focus in on what's not working because they're like, give me something I can work on. I want to fix it, I want to change it, I want to upgrade it. They're highly motivated and they're incredibly high performing. So when they get that feedback of what's not working, they're like, good, now I've got something to focus on and I can take action, which is awesome. I'm like, that's a wonderful quality to have because many people don't have that quality. So it's a great quality. And what I see happening is this constant focusing on how to improve, how to improve, how do I get better, how do I get better, is constantly looking at the piece of what's not working. Now, I could have a conversation with any single one of them at any given point in time and ask them, are you clear on what's not working for you? Yes. There's no piece of advice, there's no piece of feedback I can personally give them that of what's not working where they're going to say, "What?" And like I catch them off guard or something. They are really clear on the areas in their life that they get to focus and work on. They're super self-aware. So, does this sound, is this you? Let me know if this is you. If you're like, oh my God, that's like you are talking to me. I would love to know. Just hit me up with a like or comment and saying, yeah, like I am a high performer and I do focus in on what's not working. I'm a self-aware. There's nothing, there's no piece of feedback someone's going to give me that I already don't know about. So when we're always focusing on those, being that high performer, focusing on what's not working, we are, that's where we're going. So it's really easy to be in some self-doubt. So it's really easy for those limiting beliefs to pop up because what happens is we're looking at the things that aren't working. Does that make sense? So so that's, these are like, I guess that was the first 2 points really about like, why don't they see it and why don't they own it? And it's really around the high, the high amount of what's next. Okay, what's next? Okay, what's next? Okay, what's next? Actually, I'll another quick story. I was in a coaching program, and in this coaching program, it's very high level of feedback, which is really amazing, like uncomfortable at first, but once you can get into it and you start to trust the team that you're working with, it's really easy and it's really, really valuable. And a really good friend of mine, she had given me feedback and she said, oh, this is what's working, and this is what's not working. So she said, this is what's working, and she lists stuff. I don't know what she listed. And then she said, what's not working is you just ignored everything I just wrote about what's working, and you're just focusing on what's not working. I was like, nailed it. And this is exactly what I'm talking about. So, how then, like, if this sounds like you, send me a message, let me know. I will, because nobody's commenting. There's a couple of you watching, I can see, but no one's commenting. I mean, it's just so curious. So what I would love to know is if this sounds like you, let me know. So then how do you own it? How do you step into ownership? Oh my goodness. You know what I should have said too? I'm wearing headphones, like little my wireless Beats that I'm obsessed with, because I noticed the sound quality was really weird yesterday. So I hope the sounds, gosh, 10 minutes in. 10 minutes in, how's the sound? I hope it's good. If I'll evaluate it, but I figure if there's no sound, someone would tell me, hopefully. So, okay, let's talk about owning it. Like, how do we step out of our self-doubt and into our ownership? And that really looks like focusing on what is working. I gave one of my favorite clients this task this morning, and I said, because she's such a high performer and she is like really crushing everything. And we had this conversation today. This is what sparked this live too. And it also is sparking this mastermind that I'm putting together. Is I said, all right, your challenge is to every single day in your journal, and you're going to journal out what everything that's working. I always have to bring a pen, lift a pen up and pretend I'm writing when I say this. Isn't that odd? So I get out a journal and write out everything that is working every single day and do what I like to call double down on that. So if what's working is having conversations with people, have more conversations with people. If what's working is journaling, journal more. If what's working is doing Facebook Lives, do more Facebook Lives. Like, let's focus on the things that are working and double down on that, because it's going to create way more momentum for the high performers who are already super self aware than focusing on what's not working. Period. I did this and it changed everything for me. Everything. It's unbelievable. So that's definitely the one thing I would say about that. Um, there's other things I was doing. I had a lot of accountability. I was setting really, really good boundaries. I was taking action, all of those things, but just really stepping out of my self doubt into my ownership simply by saying what's working. So I've been like dropping little mini challenges for everybody. So that's really my invitation to you today is step into what is working. In fact, journal out what's working or say it out loud or talk to somebody, but say it every single day. Okay, like what is really working in my business, in my leadership, in my life? What's working? What is it? Write it down, comment below, like these are the things that are working and own them unapologetically. Because I bet in that moment I said, okay, type out what's working. You're like, I can't be like, oh my God, this is so amazing. This is all working for me. Because we have this story about, I don't know if it's being boastful or arrogant or egotistical, like those, all of those things. I mean, they're not true. You're just saying, hey, this works. Because what I know for sure is when I see other people, especially women, owning what's working, it inspires the shit out of me. It doesn't, I don't view them as boastful. I'm inspired by them to say, that's what I want for myself. I want to own. I want to be in ownership of everything that's kicking ass, just like that. So let's focus, let's team up, and we're going to focus on what's working and double down on it and see what we create. And I am launching a mastermind group. It's going to be 10 weeks and it starts on, I'm looking at my dates, October 19th, which is in 2 weeks. And it's all about stepping out of self doubt and into ownership. We're going to be talking about boundaries, accountability, and action, and just really finishing the year feeling like unapologetically ourselves in an ass kicking state, crushing goals, but really working on our mindset that we can take on anything because we can. So if you're interested, send me a message. I'm going to be putting out those details this weekend and I am so excited. So I will wrap it up here. I would love to know how this lands for you. If you're watching the replay, I hope you comment, let me know where you're at. And if you have any questions or anything, send me a message. I am been talking to tons of people and I'm obsessed with it. So Would love to have conversations with you as well. Have a great rest of your day. And I will see you tomorrow. Bye.